Now to a consumer first alert about protecting your information. The number of victims and data breaches soaring after what experts are calling the year of the mega data breach. You likely at some point received a letter telling you your information was compromised, if not several letters over the last year. Tammy Elliott joining us. She's digging into this report. It's a thick one.
It is.
So what is standing out to you in that report?
I mean, so many numbers, but really, you said it, the mega data breach. And what that is, Cammie, is there were just a handful of data breaches this year. Big companies with millions of customers, and those made up the majority of data breaches. And I mean, these are companies that you'll recognize: Ticketmaster, Advanced Auto Parts, AT&T, and Change Healthcare. Change Healthcare, we've talked about that here. I've covered it a couple times in my Consumer First Alerts, because people, when you hear that, you think, I don't recognize that. Right. It's a division of United Healthcare, and it impacted more than 190 million people. So just these companies alone, these big mega breaches, impacted the majority of people in 2024.
So what happens when there's this data breach? You get a notification. You get the letter. Bill Jartz and I were just talking about this because he showed me a letter. He's like, is this letter legitimate?
I get asked that a lot.
I know. So what does it mean when you get that letter?
Right. So many people will get that. I'm going to use AT&T as an example. People reached out to me and said, well, I'm no longer a customer of AT&T. Well, they're finding the data breach happened, years earlier or months earlier, whatever it is. But what happens is, so you're being notified, and sometimes you're told what information is compromised, or potentially what information. That can be anything from your address, phone number, social security number, driver's license number, information. Sometimes you learn that, sometimes you don't. But the bottom line is, you've been identified as potentially being a victim in data that is out there now.
It might have been out there for a while.
And it might have been out there for a while. And what this means is you need to protect your information. And that's usually what happens, is they're going to offer you some free credit monitoring. They're going to give you ways, but what they told me is that you want to freeze your credit. I mean, that is just, you have to lock down your credit, lock down your information.
So what are the main causes? I mean, what is happening that is causing this?
Yes, so I talked to the president of the Identity Theft Resource Center, who put out this report, this annual report, and he said 4 of those 6 mega data breaches could have been prevented with multi-factor authentication within the company. Someone's credentials, their passwords, their login stolen, and then they get access. He called it simple cybersecurity. Could have prevented that, which goes back to us. We need to protect our information. A passkey, and Cammie, you'll recognize this if you're using your face or your fingerprint to get into your accounts rather than a password. He says that is your best line of protection. Getting rid of the passwords, using those passkeys. It's better technology, it's advanced, and that's what we all need to be doing if we have that option.
Seems like a hassle, but it's so important now, more than ever.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Tammy. We'll hear more from you tonight on Action 2 News at 5.